One of the main benefits changing to an electric car is you're not producing air pollution. If you're doing the school run, there's no idling outside the school. It's a much greener car, and you can still make cost savings with your cheaper energy tariffs. And I find them a lot nicer to drive. There's no gears in an electric car. It's much smoother. I find it's a more relaxed drive, and it's just a nicer place to be because it's just so quiet. The time it'll take to charge your electric car will all depend on the type of charger you use. If you're, for example, using your home charger, it can take about 8 hours. But the thing to remember with that is most of the charging you do is done when you're asleep. So actually, the only time you spend at the charger is 30 seconds plugging it in and maybe 30 seconds in the morning. And then if you're going on a longer run, you use what's called rapid charging. You plug your car in, go and have a coffee, go to the toilet, and it'll be charged in about 30 to 45 minutes, back up to 80% from zero. If you don't have access to a charger at home, there's loads of places you can charge now. There's supermarkets some have rapid charging, some have what's called destination charging, which is a bit slower, so you can be charging while you're doing your shopping. Even a lot of city centres have charging now. The cheapest place will always be to charge at home, but there are plenty of opportunities to charge away from your home now, and that's growing daily. So the infrastructure for electric cars is, again, growing really rapidly. Got some stats here, which I've looked up just to answer this question. So last month, in August 23, 2,713 charge points went in, and of those, 243 were rapid chargers, and that rate is growing daily, so you're going to get more and more chargers every day. So every month you think there's 243 extra chargers going online. So soon there'll be chargers everywhere. It all depends. Some things, you can make something as cheap or expensive as you like. The best way is always to charge at home, because then you can take advantage of much cheaper energy rates. I just had an email from my energy supplier today to say that my off-peak rate is dropping from 9.5 pence to 9 pence per kilowatt hour. So that means you can charge many of the MG range for under £6 and do 200 plus miles. Show me a petrol car that will do that sort of range for that sort of money. So if you can charge at home, you'll go far further for far less money. So I get a lot of questions like this about how long will the batteries last. A lot of EVs have now been around quite a long time, so we're getting good data on this. So you'll find that actually the battery will outlast the car. There's many taxis which have been running in London which have done 200,000 miles still on their original battery. If you go to the MG5, for example, there's a mobile repair company called Cleveland, which have got multiple MG5s over 100,000 miles, still no issues at all. So basically the batteries will outlive the car. The good thing is that the MG range comes with a 7-year, 80,000 mile warranty, which gives you that peace of mind. Not if you're the first owner, but even if you're in the second owner, because that warranty is for those 7 years. And the other thing is the batteries are modular, so you can actually replace individual cells in some cases and actually allow that car to go further. And what's going to happen as technology improves, you might find that an 8-year-old car, the battery has moved on so much technology-wise, you're not just repairing or replacing that battery, you're putting the battery in that's got even more capacity. So your car that did 200 miles range 8 years ago might be able to do 400-500 miles because battery technology has moved on, got cheaper, and takes you further. One thing we've got to remember with comparing mining lithium to drilling oil, once we've mined the lithium, you've done it once, whereas oil, you're mining it to then put it in a car and burn it, so then you have to mine some more. And the other thing is, as these batteries get older and cars get to the end of their lives, these batteries are going to be recycled, so you don't actually have to mine the materials again. And actually lots of research on battery recycling has shown that the batteries made from recycled components are even better and longer lasting than their first time round the system. Yes, I've heard this story about multi-storey car parks a number of times, but what we've got to think now is it's not just EVs have got heavier. As vehicles had more and more safety features on them, in general vehicles have got heavier. And you think that actually if you compare one of the MG range to one of the latest Range Rovers, it's still significantly lighter. So it's just cars have got bigger, not just EVs. And you know, you're talking about a 1970s car park that may not have been maintained compared to a modern one. So it's all about, if you maintain something, it lasts well. But if you don't, you're going to have the same issues with car parks, cars, anything. They don't, you know, they're not going to have the same capability as when they were new. The thing you'll find with synthetic fuels at the moment, people say that, you know, my electricity bill is quite high and stuff. You look at how much it costs per litre of synthetic fuels. Some of the early ones that have been tested by, you know, high-end performance manufacturers, you're talking 14, 15 pound a litre. So, and it takes a lot of energy to refine that, a lot of electricity and stuff. So you're better off cutting out the fuel and just putting it straight into the battery of a car. It's just the more efficient way. And hydrogen may be the future for really big stuff like ships and maybe on some quite difficult truck routes. But cars, I think the battle's been won that actually EV is where we're going to go and where we're going to keep going.